What's up, guys? BSG T2 Trek Fan 88 here, and another quick vlog here. Haven't talked to you guys in a while. Game of Thrones is back. Woohoo! Game of Thrones aired its second episode this past Sunday, yesterday, for those of you watching it. And today in the news, I read something. Now, before I talk about the article I read, I have a subscription to HBO. I pay for HBO. I, as in my family, but we pay. And I have a couple friends that don't have HBO, so they come over and watch it. And they've bought the DVDs and Blu-rays. They don't torrent. I haven't bought them. I borrowed them myself to catch up. And a lot of people do this. Everybody has Game of Thrones nights. You know, people who don't pay for HBO, they go over to a friend's house. We have food and drink and have fun. And there are numerous bars all over the world. In fact, there's one that I watch on YouTube which has hilarious videos of the crowd watching reactions like the Red Wedding or blank person's death, etc. And recently HBO, and I'm going to paraphrase and read from the article here, HBO tells New York City bar to stop showing Game of Thrones, basically because you are, and this is true for movies, TV shows, whether it's HBO or NBC, you cannot show a program, a movie, TV show, while making a profit. For instance, I can't charge people money to come over and watch Game of Thrones. Now, a couple things. I do not agree with this. I agree with the rule in the strictest sense of the form. But this is just another example of the fun police. Game of Thrones has become the most pirated television show of all time. How they got those numbers, I'm not going to go into that, but it's been all over the news and the media. Game of Thrones is the #1 pirated show in history right now, of all time, period. And you're going to crack down on a bar showing it with a whole bunch of fans having fun? What the fuck, HBO? They're basically saying, hey, you can't show the show anymore. People are buying your shit. Okay, so how about everybody shows up, they buy food and drink ahead of time, and then when the show comes on, whether you DVR it or show it at 9, no one's allowed to buy anything for the hour and minute or two that show is on the air. HBO, go fuck yourself. What are you going to do? Send representatives to every single bar that's showing the show and make sure no one buys anything? Because those are the rules, technically. You can't show it in a public setting and or make a profit off of it. Are you going to crack down on me if I start charging my friends $1 a piece for the food that's here or whatever? The bar paid for the fucking rights for HBO. They paid for the service. There's people who've shown up that are fans that watch the show that will probably buy it on DVD or Blu-ray when it comes out, that maybe will get a subscription to HBO once they see the show and see how good it is. They'll also buy all the merchandise and all that stuff when it comes out. Like, I can understand if it was like a I don't know, a movie theater that has projectors that are digital, which most of them are, and they charge people to go watch the show. I can wholeheartedly understand that. I would back that 100%. That's wrong. A bar? There's like 30, 40 people in there at most, and they're all enjoying themselves. But in the strictest sense of the word, or the rules, or whatever you want to call it, you're going to make them stop doing this? Fine. They're not, if I owned a bar and I paid the subscription for Game of Thrones, I would say, okay, everybody, buy your drink or drinks and pay for them now, before the show starts, so when the show does come on, there you go. For HBO to single out this one bar, and I'm sure it's going to happen more and more because they're cracking down because they know that their shit was pirated pretty hardcore. Here's the thing. You're HBO. You're the biggest of the biggest. You're the US. You're a superpower when it comes to cable and programming for subscription and paying for it. Obviously, you could argue, AMC with Mad Men or back in the day NBC with The West Wing. But right now, for channels that you have to pay for to get a show, you're it. Okay? You make a fuckload of money off of everybody who pays for you. And you're going to target people having fun? But what infuriates me is there's other shit that they should be focusing on, like the people who did torrent, the people who did pirate their show, the people who use computer programming and code and whatnot to get HBO Go for free, who steal passwords, things like that. Like, why ruin the fun? If you don't have it at home, or even if you do, I personally have HBO. I can watch it right now on Sundays. I would rather go to a bar, have a drink or two, beforehand. You know, meet people who like the show, talk about it. It's HBO Fun Police. Now, again, the movie theater, different story. A big open event, one thing. But fuck off. Focus on the people who work for you that leaked this shit to begin with. Don't take it out on the people who are the fans who make you money by buying your merchandise and buying your shit and buying the Blu-rays. Don't fuck with us. At the end of the day, we're the ones who pay for your house and your cars. Technically, sports are the same thing. You're not allowed to make money off a presentation. You ever watch a full program or watch towards the end, they say, you know, oh, blah, 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 is for private viewership only. So, are you going to tell every single bar, every single restaurant, every single public drinking establishment in the world or in general, hey, the game's on, you can't shut it off? No, you won't, because basically, when they watch the game at a bar, they know that they're going to, you know, watch it at home, or they're going to buy merchandise, they're going to bet on the game. There's a whole bunch of double standards bullshit that I cannot stand about this world, and this is one of them. Granted, it's HBO and not a sports event, but the same rules apply. So as far as I'm concerned, fine. If HBO, if you're going to crack down on this, hey, all those people who do Bad Men, all those bars and restaurants who put on every sporting event known to man, people who go over people's houses and do Game of Thrones night or Mad Men night or Sopranos night, yeah, you can't do that at all. I'm pretty goddamn certain that if this was the same thing only for sports like football or basketball or soccer or whatever your favorite sport is, the media would be talking about it quite a bit and people would be up in arms. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? And at the end of the day, again, there are certain situations when I agree with this, but coming down on a bar or a restaurant, I'm not happy about that. I don't agree with that. I think that, you know what, as long as it's not a fuckload of people, like thousands or not thousands, but hundreds of people in each bar, I think that it's all in good fun. It's people getting together, talking about it, and wanting to watch more of it. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what you need, right? That's what you want. More people watching your shit. Oh no, we want people to pay for HBO. Listen, I'm going to give you a secret. HBO. Torrenting. You can do whatever you want to get rid of it. But let's pretend 10 years from now torrenting is done. There's no way to do it. There will always be a way to get what we want if we can't get it. And whether or not you agree with that, HBO or you watching this, that's too bad. Anyway, this is BSG T2 Truck Fan 88 here. Have a good night. See ya.